Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. We are marching on with the finch. What we did in the last one was we marked this all up in pencil in here, and excuse me, and then I burned it in just to follow the outline, and I did that on both sides. Now, I know I was only showing you the one side on the screen, and I asked you to do this on the other side. So we're going to proceed on, and I'm going to show you how to lift these now, and they're going to be just slight, so we're not going to go crazy with it, but this is what it's starting to shape up to. I hope it's all staying in focus here for you. So I'm going to show you how to relieve all these now. So bear with me and I'll bring you down to the... Okay, back again. Here we go. Today I'm going to introduce you, besides the Microgrinder that I use, the RAM Microgrinder, I'm going to introduce you to one of the bits that I use. It's a diamond barrel, but it's a safe end. It does not have any diamond on the end of it. And what you do when you're running this around, you do it around the burn, and it will follow without redoing your feather. It just glides along with the burn. And again, it takes a little bit of a practice to get it, but if you work with it, it really does a nice job. You can do other things with it. You can use the bullet diamond as well, and you also can use the flame tip, but this is the ruby flame tip. All these will do it, but it depends on how steady you are. And that goes for even the safe end. So let me show you. I'm going to start relieving some of the feathers and give you an idea of what I do. I lay this. I'm doing this feather up top here now. This is the first one that gets done. So I'm going to come around, and I'm just raising this ever so slightly. And what you want to do is you're planing out all the area around it so that it stands up. Then you come down to the second feather here, and I undercut around on the outside here. Okay. And I plane that out. Then I go to the third feather. If you notice, as it rolls, I'm taking that angle. I'm not just coming straight in. I go with the roll of the piece. And I go to the next one. And if you notice, I'm actually taking away some of the detail of the feathers below it, this grouping in here, but don't worry about that, because we can always come back in and burn it again, which is what usually happens when you're relieving feathers and you've done a group that you've burned in. The reason why we burn it in is to maintain it for one thing, but we're also going to lift any of the feathers that we burn. So I come down, and the nice part about it is it's diamond with the safe end, and it really cleans things up really nice and leaves it smooth. So you really don't have to do much sanding at all. It really gets it really nice. So let me stop this for a sec. Well, let me do this too. You can see it darkens and lightens up as I come around, and it's stops maybe an eighth of an inch. I'm just going to smooth out right over this grouping in the back here. Okay, so let me shut this off. I'm going to come back in with my burning pen again. And the areas that lean up to these, that grouping in front of me, I'm going to just enhance this when I came around. I sort of lost that one feather, but what I'm doing is I'm just coming back right about maybe a quarter of an inch from the ones I just relieved, and I'm just enhancing the burn a little bit so that it stands out. And all of these, there you go. So all of these are lifted and enough that you can get your nail in and get a flick, you know, like an edge sticking out. And it's, if I said a 30-second, that may be a lot, but now that we went back and touched them up, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start. So you're starting from the top on that group and you're working your way down. Okay. Now this is the next group. These are the secondaries, and I'm laying that right up, button up to the ones I just relieved. I'm coming around. Lay that flat. It's buttoned up against to the mantle right here. I'll smooth this out. I left this a little rough on the last segment here. So I got that one out. Now I'm going to go a little deeper on this edge, just a hair deeper. And I want to start showing some lift on one side here, away from what will be feathers between these two groupings here. There'll be some feathers coming down. Now I'm coming in on the second feather. I'm coming around. And I'm undercutting some more all the way through there. And these aren't, I'm not lifting these really a lot. I'm really not. But I want to get some lift off of them. And where I want to get the lift is on the ends here. So that the end really, I'm going to go down about a 30-second on all these on the outside edge here. And that stands out. It's like a grouping unto itself. And it just enhances the look of the bird as that grouping. So here I come on the next one. Hope you're seeing this okay. In the range of having you see all this. And I haven't put the rest of the feathers in here, and that's because we'd be wiping it out, so it's kind of superfluous to put it in, so I will. Now, I'm doing these in this sequence for a purpose, because these feathers lead the pack. This is the other one here, and they step down. So it's like shingles. This is on top, and the other ones are laying underneath. Now, when we get down to this grouping in here, I'm still finishing this last row of feathers here. So I'm going to lay that right next to that, and I'm pushing these guys down. So I'm sort of losing a little bit of it, but that's the purpose of it. And I'm coming around. Now, on all of these, I'm just going to get it down, and I'm going to work the material away from here a little bit more. Not much, but I want a distinctive, maybe a 30-second deep, you know, and that'll separate these from the lower ones that I put in later. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my burning pen because this grouping right in here, excuse me, this right here came around and butted under this. That's what we want to see. So this has got to look like these are under here. So we undercut this last one here. Now we're going to do these, and these will step down a little bit more. So here we go back again. I'm going to clean the surface of the top one here, just to lower the profile just a little bit. Now I'm going to come in. And then I'm going to come in like this. And I want to get a lift from this one, this grouping coming down, plus this one here, to say that these are under these. So you're lowering this profile a little bit. You're lowering this one, and you're lowering this one. And then I lower this a little bit back here, just to bring it down. Now, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to go with, let's see if I can find a bullet here. Thought I had all my bits out in front of me. Apparently I did. That's it. We got a bullet with my name on it here somewhere. Okay, I got something hiding. I'll tell you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the ruby flame tip. Okay, this is a little fatter than the other one, but this will work just as well. And this is another way of doing it too. You could come in here, but because it wants to dig in sometime, it may not leave you a smooth surface. But if you're steady enough, the ruby flame will work out very good. I'm just getting into these little nooks and crannies just to make sure I have these well defined on the ends here. I need that separation. And it's not like I'm not going that deep at all. The deepest part is right along here and along here, right here. This is from not the first one, but the second and the third coming down, okay? And then I could just clean these up. Now, I have a pretty steady hand. The diamond will definitely be more forgiving, but practice makes perfect, is what I say. So that is relieving this grouping. Now, one other thing I'm going to ask you to do, if you can see here, we have this rolling over, but because this is so high right in this area, and that's usually normal because we don't attack it so much, I'm going to put the pear in, the ruby pear, and I'm going to level this a little bit right where I made these marks. There's like a this rolls over because we did round this in here. But what I want to do is roll it more and roll this more, because the material that we're putting in here is being staged down further. And this grouping right in here gets lowered and comes sweeping up onto the tail. So what I'm going to do is change the bit, get the ruby. This is the, whoop, not that one. Here's the ruby pair. I got this one. Here we go. Let's try this one. This is the ruby pair. I really like this one. I do a lot of my shaping with it. So I'm going to ask you to come in away from these feathers now. I want you to transition this down a little bit more. Maybe to where this is about a little less than 1/8 of an inch. Right now, it's a little thicker than that. And I'm going to ask you just to come down and push this area down. Now, whatever I'm doing on this side, I'm going to ask you to do on this side. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side that I did here, but I want you to go that far on that, and you're lifting this one first, then all of these, then this, 1, 2, 3, and then this grouping coming down, and then this is the last one. And then I'm asking you to clean this up right in here like this. Now, before I send you off onto this exercise, we had this line coming down, and I would like you to preserve that. And the same way here, like this. So if you can accomplish this, that'll be great. You lift these feathers less than a 30-second, okay? And then these, and then you're doing the same thing over here. You're doing this grouping first, this second, and this is third. And this is how they lay. These lay on top of these lay on top of this. At least that's what we're trying to promote. So if you could do that and get that relieved on both sides, I will show you also how to burn these, which is a different direction than we did on the rest of these. So I'll see you on the next video. I hope you got something out of this video as well. And if you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. And anytime I'm looking back on some of this here, I need to clean that up. So I will reburn things just to get a sharp edge, because that acts as a stop. And then you could go back in and you could clean it out much easier. So remember that, reburning in an area, if I'm looking at a little spots here and there, this isn't too bad, but if I'll reburn this line in here and then come in, just clean it out with a flame or a bullet shape diamond, and get that all sharp. And if you would do that, I'd appreciate it. And see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.